Hello everyone. I am out foraging and just came across this beautiful St. John's wort, and there's a nice little patch over here. There's also mullein, which I want to harvest the flowers from. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about how I wildcraft, forage, and a little bit about St. John's wort specifically. So we are on the Bad River Reservation. As a tribal member, I do have rights to forage, which I don't take lightly. I'm very grateful for that. In fact, I can forage anywhere in the upper part of Wisconsin, I think upper third. But we are on the reservation on kind of this like not very well-traveled dirt road. And so this was just growing kind of off the side of the road. Here I can show you. So here's just a dirt gravel road, and the St. John's wort that I'm excited about is right there. And there's a little bit more back in there. So St. John's wort likes growing in disturbed areas, anywhere that's kind of gravelly or where the road's been disturbed, on the sides of forests, like those little strips of meadow. You can often find it growing alongside the road. So it likes kind of like poor quality soil, disturbed soil. When I come up on a plant that I want to harvest, it's important for me to say hello to the plant first. Usually I caress it a little bit. I let it know that I'm here to harvest its medicine, that it's going to be for a specific purpose. Usually I have something in mind that I want to go seek out and make with it. So in this terms, making an oil. And then I ask for the plant's permission to harvest it, which is just a process of internally asking and feeling for the answer, feeling that yes or no response within myself. Generally, it's a yes. Plants want to be of service. They want to help us. They like being harvested. So once I get my answer, if it's a yes, the next thing I do is I grab my bag of tobacco and I'm going to take a pinch of it. So I take a bit of it in my left hand close to the heart, and this is when I just take a moment of gratitude and thank the Creator for this gift, and I thank the plant for this gift. And then I lay the tobacco down on the soil. So I'm gonna do that. The tobacco carries our prayers, and so that's why we use tobacco. Now for harvesting this, I am going to pick the top ends of it, and so I'll use the flowers and the top leaves. St. John's wort scientific name is Hypericum perforatum. And you can tell by when you look very closely at the leaves, they have kind of like these little pinholes to them, especially holding it up to the light. You can see that. And then the medicine here, if you can see, I picked a bud and I'm gonna squish it in my fingers. And do you see that nice red color that's coming off onto my fingertips there? So that is the medicine. That's what we're after. And so with this plant, I'm gonna make an oil. St. John's wort is really amazing for any type of injury, bruises, swelling, sprains, anything that's happened kind of below the skin and is kind of you know, a painful injury to the site. Putting this oil on the skin is really relieving. It's also amazing for your nerves and the nervous system. So anything muscular, nervous system wise, healing, sprains, bruises. It's most commonly known as like an herb for depression because it really helps lift the mood. It's a sunshine herb, as you can see. It generally blooms around the solstice, but here in my climate, northern Wisconsin, it's blooming mid-July. And I like to come harvest it when several of the flowers have opened already, because the medicine is really in the flowers and in the buds. And again, I'm gonna pick the top bit of the flower. I'm not going to harvest this all. I'm going to just, you know, pick the ones I feel called to, and when I feel called to stop, when I feel like I have enough, I will. I always leave plenty to go to seed and for the pollinators. So I just take what I need, and then of course give gratitude. There's so much more to say about St. John's wort. This is just a little highlight video about it, but if you are drawn to this plant, I encourage you to learn more. It's a really amazing plant and a good ally for us.